All rise. Veuillez vous lever. The International Criminal Court is now in session. L'audience de la Cour pénale internationale est ouverte. Please be seated. Veuillez vous asseoir.
Thank you very much. Court officer, please call the case.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. La situation en République du Kenya dans l'affaire Le Procureur contre William Samoei Ruto et Joshua Arabson, ICC 0109-0111. Nous sommes en audience publique.
Thank you very much. I see that appearances are the same. Ms. Vice?
The same, Your Honor.
Mr. Ruto?
The same.
The same, Your Honor. And remain the same for the Ruto defence as well.
Thank you.
Your Honour, we have those exhibits to announce, and Ms. Jari will go through the numbers, if she may. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honours. I'll just be reading out the ERN numbers. The first one is Ken D09 0029 0018.
What is that again? Do you remember?
Yeah, that's a Google map.
Tab numbers, if there are tab numbers, don't worry about it. We'll try and find them. We'll see what they are now. Please.
The second item is Ken D09 0029 0017. And that's also a Google map.
No objection to both of those, Your Honor.
The third item is Ken D09 0029 0016, also a Google map.
Ms. Vice?
No objection, Your Honor.
How many, all the Google Maps?
Yes, those are all three Google maps.
All three Google Maps.
Yes,
and
Your
the
Honor.
prosecution does not object. The Google Maps are accepted onto the record as the next in the Ruto defense exhibits.
Le document KEN D09 0029 0018 confidentiel se verra attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00125. Le document KEN D09 0029 0017 public se verra attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00126. Le document KEN D09 0029 0016 public se verra attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00127.
The next item would then be KEN OTP 00830343, and that's an OTP item that's a sketch.
Where is the tab?
It's tab 27, Your Honor.
Ms. Wise?
No objection, Your Honor.
The item is accepted onto the record. That's the next in the Ruto defense exhibits.
Le document KEN OTP 00830343 confidentiel se verra attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00128.
The next item is KEN D09 0029 0001, and those are the series of photographs that were shown to the witness. The photograph that ends with 0001, 0002, 0007, 0005, and 0008 were shown to the witness.
Wise.
Your Honour, the prosecution objects to two of those photographs being admitted. The first one being 0005. The witness did not confirm that this was the site of his accommodation in 2007. I refer Your Honours to page 49 of yesterday's transcript, lines 21 to 24. The second photograph the prosecution objects to is the one ending 0008. The witness did not recognise this as being his home, and I refer Your Honours to page 50 of yesterday's transcript, lines 18 to 23.
In response?
Well, photographs are real evidence. My impression was that the witness had agreed with the general locality being the site of his home. In respect of the house, that was discussed, of course, yesterday, and the witness's evidence was that it was different, that the house he had was bigger. But my understanding of the position was that it wasn't being disputed that this was made of the same material or had been restructured or was otherwise very significantly different. Now, in any event, the position is reached whereby discussion is taking place in court that needs to be rooted, and it needs, in this case, to be rooted on the photographs, even where there's disagreement.
The Chamber will accept the photos with the exception of 0005 and 0008. Those two items will be marked MFI. The rest would come in as the next in the Ruto defense exhibit. We're then talking about 0001. Council, can you take them again? 0002, is that it?
Yes, Your Honours. It's 0001, 2, 7, and 5 and 8.
0001, 0002, 0007 would come in as the next in the Ruto defense exhibits. I understand there is a technical problem in view of the way the defense had uploaded the document. Apparently uploaded all of them as one item, given one ERN number, I think. Next time, let's not do it that way, because that assumes that all of it would be admitted onto the record. So for the purposes of the record, the only items of the photos admitted as exhibits are the ones I indicated, 1, 2, and 7. 5 and 8 would be only in there for purposes of identification, MFI. That should get us around the difficulty.
Well, perhaps we can sort that out afterwards, either by
Yes,
sending you
let's-
individual photographs
Very good.
in due course.
Yes, Your Honours, thank you. The next item is Ken D09 0029 0024. That was at Your Honours Bundle Tab 10A and was a handwritten letter by the witness.
No, that will not come in as exhibit. It was for purposes of memory refreshment, and it served its purpose.
Thank you, Your Honours. The next item is Ken OTP 0109 0264 at Your Honours Tab 32.
No objection, Your Honour.
No objection. The document comes in then as the next in the Ruto defense exhibits.
Le document KEN-OTP 0109 0264 R01 se verra attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00129. Le document est confidentiel.
Any more?
Thank you. The next item is Ken OTP 0083 0340, the first redacted version, at Your Honours Tab 26, and it's the Certificate of Registration of a Self-Help Group.
No objection, Your Honour.
The item is accepted as the next in the Ruto defense exhibits.
Le document KEN-OTP 0083 0340 R01 confidentiel se verra attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00130.
The next item is Ken OTP 0078 0395, the first redacted version, at Your Honours Tab 37, and that is an email from the witness to the OTP.
No objection, Your Honour.
Document accepted as the next in the Ruto defense exhibits.
Le document KEN-OTP 0078 0395 R01 confidentiel se verra attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00131.
The last item, Your Honours, is Ken OTP 0078 0351, the first redacted version, at Your Honours Tab 24, and it's a handwritten letter by the witness.
No objection, Your Honour.
Document accepted as the next in the Ruto defense exhibits.
Le document KenOTP 00780351R01 confidentiel se verra attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00132.
There's all the matters at present, Your Honour. Can I just correct my colleague's, the spelling of my colleague's name? That's Shalini Jayraj, and Jayraj is spelled Jayaraj, for the record. Thank you very much. And good morning, Mr. Witness, and I'm sorry to have left you sitting there during that exercise, but you realise as we go along it's important that we get all our documents numbered and in order. Now, I'd like to you to help me as to what happened in January when you walked to Nandi Hills.
You know we are in open session.
Yes, I appreciate that. And you walked from a certain place to Nandi Hills. And so, as we are in open session, let's just refer to it like that. Village, hamlet, a certain place. We won't name it by name. And as I understand it, you say you went in order to see what government opinion was, and to do that you went to see, or you intended or thought you were going to see, the DC, the district commissioner. Is that correct?
Naona si kuenda peke yangu, ilikuwa pamoja na umati wa watu, na mara hatukujua tulikuwa naenda kufanya nini, isipokuwa kwa maana ni mwito ulikuwa ukitolewa na watawala na viongozi wa serikali. Wengine wetu nikiwemo ndani tulifikiri tunaenda kuhutubiwa na bwana DC. Yaona siwezi kujua.
Well, you tell us you lived in the area, familiar with the area. Didn't you know who the policeman was in Nandi Hills?
Yaona wakubwa wa serikali kwa cheo hicho wanazungumza cha OCPD. Sisi sana mtu kujua majina yao. Mara mingi wanajulikana kwa vyeo vyao tu na kazi wanafanya. Yaona.
Very well. He was a Kikuyu, I suggest, and he was in charge of Nandi Hills and 2 other divisions. He's alive and well today. You see, what I'm going to put to you, Mr. Witness, is simply this. There was no policeman injured, let alone killed, at Nandi Hills at any time during the post-election violence. Do you accept that proposition? Today, do you accept that proposition?
Naona kama haya mambo yalikuwa njama kubwa sana ya kutaka kupeleka sisi ambao tulikuwa makabila mengine kwa mambo ambao walikuwa wamepanga kufanya, lakini kwa njia ambayo sisi hatukuelewa. Yaona.
See, I suggest, Mr. Witness, you never were in Nandi Hills that day. You never did go on a walk to Nandi Hills. You were a long way away in Western. See, I suggest, Mr. Witness, you never were in Nandi Hills that day. Now, following the incident at the police station that you claim you witnessed, there was then looting. May I make it plain that it's accepted this defence that looting took place in Nandi Hills? Mr. Witness, is it right that in fact it was much of a free for all, and not only Kalenjin, but Luo and Luya also participated in the looting? That's right.
Yaona, nilijua Wakalenjin ni wakubwa, wafanya biashara waliokuwa na malori, hata wale walitoka na magari kule nilikuwa nikiishi, wakikuja na mali ambayo imeriporwa. Ndio maana nilijua ilikuwa inatendwa na Wakalenjin. Yaona.
I'm asking you, Mr. Witness, do you accept that Luya people also participated and Luo people also participated in the looting in Nandi Hills?
Sina habari yaona.
Now, in your evidence, you told us how Kalenjin soldiers or police were showing the crowd where to loot. Do you remember saying that? Now, in your evidence, you told us how Kalenjin soldiers or police were showing. And what about Kalenjin police shooting off the locks? Is that something you saw, or was that something you...
Ndio yaona, hivyo ndio watu waliotoka huko walisema iko kifanyika.
All right, so you're not saying you saw them doing that yourself then, is that right?
Nous sommes en audience publique, Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Hooper,
yes.
How much time are we?
A bit longer. We didn't start till almost 11 o'clock this morning, Your Honour will recall, and the pace has been a slow walking pace at the very best. We are not getting... But I appreciate the time matter, and I think I can speed up. Let's put it like that. But I think, with Your Honour's leave, and I hope indulgence, it may go at least no more than 30 minutes into the afternoon.
Proceed.
Thank you, Honour. You can't recall the date of the COBRA meeting except you thought it was November before December. You may remember you saying that. And I'm just interested to ask you this. It's again a reference to the screening note when you were first spoken to by the prosecution, which is not a document you have, but let me just relate to you you saying that. And I'm just interested to ask you this. It's again a reference to the but it's not tab 21. 31. Difficulty with having a hand writing. Just saying, and I'd like your views on this. The first meeting he attended took place in Kodajoy district in mid-December 2007. He does not remember the exact date. Meeting was attended by 150 to 200 people, including Koski, Sadikoski, Cherenbos, and their allies. The meeting was held in the afternoon or early. Master of ceremony was Cherenbos. Ruto was the guest of honor. I'll read it all. Ruto addressed the attendees. He encouraged them to vote for him. He said that if they win, they will kick out all non-Nan, according to witness Luhiya, Luya, Kikuyu, Kisai. Ruto said they will take the land back. All right. So that is your first recorded account. It might be wrong, it might be right in terms of what the listener recorded. But looking back, do you think that Kobajoy meeting was, that there was a meeting in Kobajoy in mid-December? What do you say? Was it in mid-December?
Yaona, nikikumbuka ilikuwa tu siasa za mwisho, karibu mwisho wa siasa Kenya. Na sikumbuki, nafikiri tulifanya hapo marekebisho. Sikumbuki kusema Disemba, nakumbuka kusema Novemba, mwisho Novemba. Kwa maana siasa za Kenya zinamalizika mwezi moja nyuma. Ilikuwa karibu mwisho wa siasa Kenya. Na sikumbuki, nafikiri tulifanya hapo marekebisho. Sikumbuki kusema.
To you now, do you remember that? Do you remember hearing of that meeting? Had a certain position, of course, as we know. Do you remember if there was such a meeting with Mr. Raila Odinga heading the 16th of December? What do you say?
Sikumbuki yaona.
Now, you tell us that the meeting you attended, Raila Odinga attended. Is that you say? Is that right?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Of course, he was the main man in ODM. Tell me this, why is it the very first time you ever mentioned Raila Odinga as being present was in that witness box on Monday? Or Tuesday, was it? Anyway, Tuesday. Very first time you ever mentioned Raila Odinga. Never mentioned him in your statement to the prosecution, never mentioned him in any clarifications. Why was that?
Yaona, niliwahi kusema mabango yalikuwa ya Raila na viongozi wa ODM Alafu tena kulikuwa na mabango ya picha moja moja tu nyingi za Bwana Ruto. Hii ilikuwa inamaanisha Raila pia atakuja kulingana na hiyo matangazo. Yaona.
I'm asking you, why is it you never mentioned, have never mentioned until Tuesday, that Raila Odinga was at this KenyaMOJA meeting when he's the main man in ODM running for president against... I'm asking you, why is it you never mentioned, have never mentioned until Tuesday?
Yaona, nimewahi kusema hivyo. Manake nilitumia mabango ndio kutangaza habari. Yaona, mabango yalikuwa na picha za Raila na vigogo. Alafu kulikuwa na mabango pia ya Bwana Ruto peke yake. Tena mabango ya yule Sally Koske ambaye alikuwa anataka kuongoza kutafuta kura. Yaona.
Sally the parliamentary candidate for Oldeye, as we know, and is it was in fact in charge of her security.
Sijui hayo Yaona.
And maintained by him.
Yaona.
School attended by all ethnic groups, the children of all ethnic groups. That girls' school, isn't it?
La Yaona, wakati huo labda kama imebadilishwa wakati huo, lakini wakati huo ilikuwa ya wasichana. Yaona. Haikuwa ya vijana. Yaona, rudia kidogo swali, nimekosa kujibu vizuri.
Yes. Yes. That school, it's a girls' school, not a boys' school. Girls' school. And it was open to girls of all ethnic groups who were pupils there. All ethnic groups. Luyas, Kikuyu, everyone. That's right, isn't it?
Yaona, hiyo picha haikuchukuliwa katika shule ya wasichana. Ndiyo, shule ya wasichana iko jirani ambayo Kiambusi amejenga, na shule ya msingi iko tena upembeni ambaye ni ya wenyeji tu. Hapo makabila zingine watoto wao wako, kwa hiyo kwa maana shule ya msingi. Yaona, hiyo ndio picha chana. Ndiyo, shule ya wasichana iko jirani ambayo Kiambusi amejenga, na shule ya msingi iko tena upembeni.
His eldest son is married to a Kikuyu. There are other Kikuyus who've married into that family. That's right, isn't it?
Sina habari Yaona.
Thank you. Now, you tell us you're in KenyaMOJA at dais is being put up, passing through, and you'd been visiting your parents who live at location 8. Is that right?
Ni kweli yaona.
Don't name the district or place, but how far from your village that you were living in at that time is the place where your parents lived? How far in kilometres? Approximately, of course.
Yaona. Sina weledi sana wa kukadiria mambo ya urefu wa barabara, yaona.
All right. But if I was to suggest about 50 kilometres, what would you say?
Yaona.
Well, I'm asking you, a mature man, you travel regularly there. Have you no idea how far it is?
Your Honour,
Would you agree it's a long way there and
Yaona ndio.
that after seeing the dais, the next day, you were passing Cobberjoy again. Is that right? This is the time when you, of course, see the rally at Cobberjoy. Is that right?
Si kusema hivyo yaona.
Well, I may again be wrong, or I may be right. We'll try and establish that. Had you been visiting your parents the day of the Cobberjoy rally?
Yaona, nikiweka sawa, naona kidogo swali lako tumezungumzia nikienda wakijenga jukwaa. Yaona, nikienda si kurudi kesho yake, nirudi baada ya muda kidogo, manake nilikuwa naenda kuona ugonjwa. Sasa hapo nafikiri nimekuweka sawa. Yaona.
All right. Well, we'll just clarify whether you said it was the next day in your evidence.
Sasa hapo nafikiri nimekuweka sawa. Yaona.
Next day in your evidence, and whatever significance we may attach to that. But on the day of the meeting, were you coming back from your parents' house? Yes or no?
Natoka kwa wazazi wangu. Yaona.
But could you repeat the question?
On the day of the Cobberjoy political meeting, had you been visiting your parents? Were you coming back from your parents, passing the political rally was? Let me put that question again. On the day of the Cobberjoy rally, you told us you passed the rally and you went, of course, to attend it. And I'm asking you, is it your case, your story, that you were coming back from your parents' when you saw the rally taking place?
Ndiyo, Your Honor.
So on both days, both the day that you saw the dais being erected and the day that you attended the rally, on both days you were coming back having visited your parents. Is that right? Being erected. And the day that you attended the rally, on both days you were coming back.
Na ugonjwa. Sikusema nirudi siku ya pili, Your Honor. Ilichukua mimi muda kidogo, muda nikishughulikia ugonjwa ulikuwa huko, Your Honor.
All right, well, can you have your statement, please? And perhaps we can just deal with this. And it's paragraph 25. And as it's coming to you, let me just read in with a redacted version of what you've said. Before the meeting, a dais was constructed. This is paragraph 25. I saw the dais 2 or 3 days.
Witness, do you have your statement?
No, it's coming to him, I think. It's been taken. I've asked for it. Can he have the statement, please, the hard copy? Oh, we may have kept it.
Yeah, let's give it to him.
Sorry, we kept it. Thank you very much. If you can show paragraph 25 to him, please. And the next one is, I'll show you the next one. Thank you very much. So just read those 2 lines. Don't read them out because we're in public session. Okay. So, putting that aside just for a moment, do you agree that on a previous occasion you told the prosecution you were coming back after visiting your parents when you noticed the dais was being built? Do you agree that you've said that? And is it true? Coming back after visiting your parents when you noticed the dais. And can I take you then, just have a quick look please, paragraph 30. Can I just take you to that too? Again, just read it to yourself, don't read it out loud. That's it. What page? And just very briefly, looking at that, you can see that you're saying that you were passing, again, coming back from your parents. Do you remember saying that, and is it true? And that's on the Cupboard Joy meeting day.
Ndiyo, Your Honor.
Right.
We're back in public session. Who goes first, Mr.
Can I just say, we've had a little debate. We're quite open about this, but the problem is we don't want witnesses yet to come to suddenly all lose their phones. Oh, we're in public. Well, anyway, if we can go to private session. I think. Oh, we're in public. My last comment from the record, if that's possible.
Private session.
All rise. We will obey. Please be seated. Whoever says what.
Thank you very much. Witness, welcome back. We're in open session, Ms. Wise.
Your Honour, I just wanted to introduce one more person on the prosecution team this afternoon is Mr. Benjamin Gumpert. He's a senior trial lawyer, and Gumpert is spelled G-U-M-P-E-R-T.
Mr. Hooper, you may proceed. Chamber's ruling is there will only be propositions put to the witness
Very well.
and not shown any document or source of the proposition.
All right. All right, thank you very much. We're in open, I take it? Yes, thank you. Yes, I see we are.
Shown any document or source of the proposition.
All right. All right, thank you very much. Mr. Willis, you told us as part of your account how you to retrieve hold on. Yes,
let's go into private
We'll
session.
go into private session.
And then, so you collect your thoughts and
Yeah.
see.
Private session. And I can deal with another matter in private. Finally, Mr. Witness, can I just finally, Mr. Witness, we are surprised to learn that during the period from the 25th of December of 2007 up and including the 4th of January 2008, so all those days, from the 25th of December through Christmas, through the New Year, up until the 4th of January, be surprised to learn that your telephone made calls only from Western District and none from the area that
Your Honour, I
was spoken
object to
about.
that. I think this was discussed earlier, the contents, and this is exactly what Mr. Hooper, my learned friend, is alluding to.
It's not. The question is fine. In terms of the form of it, in relation to the debate we had, whether or not it's a fair question quite apart from the discussion we had, is another matter.
And perhaps we should revert to private session.
Private session.
Your Honour's tab number 3.
Again, MFI.
Yes, Your Honours.
No difficulty from the prosecution, I take it, no?
No, Your
Document we marked MFI, Ruto defense.
Le document KEN D09 0029 0015 public se verra attribuer la cote MFI T D09 00140.
Honours, the final item will be CAN D09 0029 0023, and we request that that be given an EVD number, please. It's on tab 11 of Your Honour's bundles, and it's a photograph of person number 1 on the PIS.
Ms.
No,
Wise?
no objection, Your Honour.
Received into the record as annexed in the Ruto defense exhibits.
Le document KEN D09 0029 0023 public se verra attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00141.
And that's the Ruto defense exhibit 141. Ms. White? Ms. Nderitu, it remains the case that there is no re-examination for the defense exhibit 141.
Thank you.
Ms. White, please.
Thank you, Your Honour. I will start with one question in public session, but then unfortunately I have to move into private because of the nature of the questions. They arise out of private and they would identify the witness. Mr. Witness, my first question to you is, in 2007, was it compulsory to register your cell phone in Kenya?
Yaona haikuwa lazima.
Do you know when it became compulsory cell phone in Kenya?
Yaona ilikuwa mwaka jana.
If we could move into private session, Your Honour, for the next couple of questions. Thank you.
I take it then you'll be finishing in private session, is that it?
Indeed.
All right. We will have some discussions, don't we, Mr. Steinberg, about what happens next after the break.
That's correct, Your Honour. I don't imagine, unless there are any objections from the other side, that it will take very long, perhaps 10 minutes.
All right. Keeping that in mind, Ms. Wise, let's then go into private session for you to finish.
Audience publique, Monsieur le Président.
Witness, I was thanking you for coming to testify before the court. We've now finished the questions to your answers. We thank you very much. We know it's been a trying experience sitting there, taking and being required to answer them. Yeah, we thank you for your indulgence. The court will excuse you. Now, if you can bear with us and sit there for a while so that we can all wrap up, at the same time, you can also enjoy the lawyers arguing with one another. They will not be asking you questions anymore. Mr. Saipa.
Yes, thank you, Your Honour. As I promised yesterday, I think, I have forwarded the prosecution's proposed list of witnesses for the next 2 sessions. For the record, I can repeat them, but before I do that, I will, however, be unfortunately begging the leave of the court and the indulgence of my learned friend to make one small alteration. In the first session, I had previously indicated that the next 3 witnesses would be starting with witness 464, and then witness 323, and finally witness 409. We estimate that that will take between 14 to 16 days. We have 17 days, so we should comfortably fit those 3 witnesses in the first session. The indulgence which I seek is to swap the order of the second and third witness. That is, we propose to call witness 409 before witness 323. Unfortunately, we have run into some complicated scheduling difficulties. I can explain in more details if necessary, but to swap the order of the second and third witness. That is, we propose to call witness 409 before witness 323. For the following session, that is the session commencing on the 31st of March, call the following 3 witnesses: witness 442, followed by witness 28, and 469. We estimate that will take between 14 to 16 days. I note that we have 13 days. It may thus be that we don't get through all 3 of those witnesses, in which case the last witness, who is a short witness, may have to be held over. I trust that that will be in order.
Mr. President, Your Honours, in relation to my learned friend's indication that he wishes to change the witness order so that witness 409 comes before 323, that won't cause a difficulty for the defence, and I have no objection to that, Your Honour.
Mr. Kiginkatwa?
I have no objection, Mr. President.
Right. Noted. Thank you.
For that indulgence, Your Honours.
Mr. Nderitu, did you wish to make an observation?
Thank you, Mr. President, Your Honours. Not in connection with the order of witnesses, but I don't know if there is any other business remaining, in which case I would want to just raise one issue.
1 second.
Thank you.
I take it there will be there are no submissions on the second. Prosecutor, we will want the three witnesses to be taken, the three indicated second session starting 31st of March to the 16th of April. We want to complete the three witnesses by the 16th of April before the Easter recess. That should be the target. And for that purpose, we would expect questions to really be weaned down in terms of what really needs to be asked of all the witnesses, both in examination in chief and in cross-examination. As I said, because we didn't have any other witness lined up for this session, we were generous to allow all sorts of questions that we would not normally have allowed in the case. That would not be happening during that session. That I need to make very plain.
Duly noted, Your Honor. Thank you.
So, with that in mind, that settles the matter for the order of witnesses and who will need to be called. Mr. Nderitu.
Thank you, Mr. President, Your Honors.
The court officer will need to log in some evidence that wasn't done. If you remember the matter of the pictures of that the defense tried to tender the time and that needed to be split up.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Le greffe souhaitait ajouter.
That wasn't done. If you remember the matter of the pictures of that the defense tried to tender the
290001 confidentiel s'est vu attribuer la cote T 9000133. Le document KEN D09 0029 000 confidentiel s'est vu attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00134. Le document KEN D09 002 007 confidentiel s'est vu attribuer la cote EVD T D09 00135. Le document D09 0029 0005 confidentiel s'est vu attribuer la cote MFI T D09 00136. Et enfin, le document KEN D09 0029 0008 s'est vu attribuer la cote MFI T 00137. Je vous remercie.
Your Honour, while we're at it, I think the PIS was not read in either. I neglected to ask for that to be read into the record.
The prosecution PIS wasn't logged in as well?
Exactly, Your Honour.
All right, I think we have to revert to the old system of once we treat a document, we will enter it at that time. Okay. I'm told it has already been logged in. Okay.
Zéro, 040 et il fait 4 pages.
Thank you. Ms. Nderitu, you said you had an issue?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, Your Honors. It's not really an issue, and quite coincidentally, it comes in at 4 p.m. when we are there. This is just to inform the chamber and the parties that today is the last day for my case manager, Ms. Caroline Hatzig. I just want to record the very, very able assistance that I have been able to receive from her for the last 1 year since I became the legal representative for victims. I wish her well as she proceeds. Several other different assignments. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. There's the matter of the hearing on the schedule for the 14th of February. Ms. Nderitu, I understand there was an inquiry from you as to whether your attendance would be either welcome or invited. The answer is yes. We will want you to participate in that discussion. As we all know, an element of the issue has to do with the criminal law or criminal procedure of Kenya, and we'll be counting on the assistance of the Kenyan lawyers as the experts on the matter to help guide us either way in that aspect of it. So you'll be welcome. That's it for the session, and wish everybody safe travels, those who are traveling, and we'll see you again on the next session. Thank you. And thank you, witness. Safe travels back to you as well. And everybody, the court interpreters, court reporters, for bearing with us. Thank you. We will be rising now, but blinds down first to escort the witness from the courtroom. And we'll see you again on the next session. Thank you. And thank you, witness. Safe travels back to you as well. And everybody,